Hey, and welcome to the Hero's Journey podcast, episode 7. Today, I want to talk about a book I've been reading called Switch: How to Change Things When Change is Hard by Chip and Dan Heath. The main principle or idea of the book is that you have two parts to yourself, a rider and an elephant. And the rider represents your rational mind, your rational thinking, direction, vision, insight, guidance. And your elephant represents your feelings, emotions like joy, pain, so on and so forth. But I also attributed the elephant to your physiological needs as well, because if you remember a couple of episodes ago, I talked about Maslow's hierarchy of needs and how when your base needs, food, water, shelter, sex, are not being met, they become your main driving forces for the choices you make, the places you go, the people you speak to. When you're starving, hungry, haven't eaten for days, all you can think about is where you're going to get food from and what you're going to do to get that food. When you're busting for a wee on the train or the bus or wherever, all you can think about is where you're going to pee and how good it's going to feel to get that release of doing a wee, whether it's behind a tree or in a real toilet. But those feelings, those physiological feelings, they override all of your thoughts, your emotions. When you're hungry, you're cranky. When you need to pee, like that's all you can think about. But those feelings are easier to combat with your rational thoughts because we know how we can relieve them. I know that when I'm busting for a wee, but I'm on the bus, that once I get to work or wherever I'm going, I can find somewhere to pee. So my solution is simply find somewhere to pee. And I get off and I look for a little spot where I can quickly dip in and sort myself out. And as soon as I've done it, I'm like, all good. And I can go about my day. I can carry on with whatever I was doing. And yeah, it's all good, like I said. However, when the issues are more external, say problems at work, difficulty in a relationship, problems with your housing or your money, the solutions aren't as clear cut. I can't just think, oh, I haven't got enough money to pay my bills. I know, I can get more money. Of course, that's the solution, to get more money, but there are so more steps involved. When I need to pee, it's simply find somewhere to pee. Problem sorted. Find more money. But find more money from where? And what am I going to need to do to get that money? And how long is it going to take to get that money? Quite a few factors involved. And that's where things can get stressful. And the elephant, the emotional side, can start to run away or take precedence over our rational thoughts. And we might do things that are detrimental to our health, detrimental to our progress. And things just start going wrong. And then we get into a position where we're kind of drowning, stuck, can't see a clear way out. And the rational mind has no chance. It's the times like these that I want to try and give you a few tips for today. So let's start with just talking a little bit more about the elephant and the rider. The elephant, like I said, it represents your natural emotions, your sense of joy, fear, empathy, pain, love, courage. And it's like your vehicle. Yeah, it gives you motivation. It's your strength. It's like your body, like I said. Your physiological. It carries you to where you need to be. And although it gets kind of caught up in all these feelings and emotions and can drown you and everything, doesn't mean that you don't need it. You need it. Those feelings and emotions are what fuel the motivations. When you're down at your lowest, and you think, man, I gotta get up, that gives you that strength to rise up and do what you need to do, get to where you need to get to. A lot of people didn't get to the points in life where they are, the highest points where they are, until they hit rock bottom, and they either had nothing left, or they hit the point where they're like, right, if I don't do something, nothing's gonna change. That's that passion, that fire. But also, the rider represents your contemplation, your logical mind. The rider analyzes all the situations and tries to better understand the circumstances that you're in to form a plan of action. And also, it comprises your willpower to complete and undertake tasks that you need to do. Even when you're elephant, your emotions feel like, nah. Because your body, in the morning, when you're snug and warm in your bed, does not want to get up. You hear that alarm go off, snooze. I done a post about it today. Wake up. You hit that snooze button. I'm the worst for hitting snooze. And that's your body in comfort, enjoying that sleep, man, that peace, that bliss. And then your mind has got to kick in and kick you up the arse and say, listen, bruv, if you don't get up, you don't get paid. But do I really need money though? Why am I working for the man? But all these little rationalizations. Be careful of rationalizing the reasons you do things. A lot of the time, if you're having to rationalize the reason you're doing something, something's not right. Have a rational mind, yes, but be careful of rationalizing things, the reason why you do things. So, my point is that your rider, your mind, needs to kick in and kick your body, your emotions, your feelings up the arse. Maybe you just broke up with the love of your life. Been with them forever. And now you're lost. That person was your world. You done everything together. You enjoyed everything together. You grew as a person, as individuals together. And now you're on your own. You had so much invested, feelings, emotions, good times, bad times, dreams, hopes, all bound up in another person. And I don't mean that in a negative way. But now that it's just you ain't got the drive you had. You ain't got the passion that you had. But these are the feelings. It's times like that when you need to engage your rider, your mind, and remember, hold on a second, I had these dreams and passions and desires and whatever else before that person ever came along. They were part of me. They're still part of me. Just because the person's gone doesn't mean that my passion, my desire, my dreams have gone. That particular route of achieving them has now closed. That path is closed, and you have to accept that path is closed now. But that's not the only path. There's a myriad of paths that you can choose to get to your destination. Just remember what your destination is. You need a point of reference. Wherever it is, whatever you're doing, whatever you're going through, whatever changes, transitions, take a minute and just remember what it is that's driving you. Remember what it is you want to be. Remember where it is you want to go. Remember what it is you want to see, touch, smell. All of that stuff. All of those little hidden desires that you don't talk about. That's the job that I really wanted. And I got this job on the way to it, and I got comfortable. And it's all right here. The money's okay. The people are okay. It wasn't the job that I was going for, but it's cool, man. All of a sudden, the business has gone bust. COVID hit. No money. Boss has got to let me go. What am I going to do, man? I've been here 5 years. This is my job. This is my place. Man, I got bills to pay, kids to feed, debts I owe, people relying on me. What am I gonna do? Take a moment and remember that career path that you were on, that you got sidetracked off of. Oh yeah. That's what I was doing. I was working my way up to XYZ. Actually, I was going to get to a certain level and then take this course and do that. Oh, yeah. Well, you need to refocus. Get back on that. Repurpose your purpose. Jeez. Who writes this stuff? Who writes this stuff? One thing that you have to be careful of, and there are more than just one thing, but one thing excuse me, my throat's a bit dry. One thing that comes to mind right now is to be careful of overthinking the situation, getting into a loop of overthinking. What if this happens? What if that happens? What if this doesn't happen? What if that doesn't go right? What if they don't like me? What if they say no? What if I fail? So many people get paralyzed by the fear of failure that they don't start. To some people, never starting, never trying, and never failing is better than trying, discovering that it doesn't work, and then moving on to something else. And I don't even want to say failing, because that's not even failing. That's testing. In life, you've got to test so many things. If you don't test, how can you be sure? Some things you don't need to test. You don't need to test how many drugs your system can take. You don't need to test how many drinks it's going to take for you to get drunk. You don't need to test how many girls you can cheat on your girl with before she catches you. Like, some things you don't need to test. But in terms of your dreams, goals and ambitions, desires, things that you want to achieve, you need to test yourself to see, actually, is this really for me? But don't overthink it to the point where you do nothing. Don't paralyze yourself with negative thoughts. Just say to yourself, actually, this is what I want to do. And this is how I'm going to do it. 2 very important steps. So many people, and you find it a lot in like Christian circles and kind of new wave ideology kind of circles, where they get stuck in the declaration stage, the proclamation stage. I declare, I decree to the universe, to God, in Jesus' name, that I'm going to be wealthy, that I'm going to receive this, that I'm going to meet a husband, That's great. That's great that you've got to the point where you've accepted what you really want. And you're saying it to yourself and out loud that I'm going to get this. That's wicked. Because that's the first demon. that wipes so many people out. That demon of doubt and fear. No. I couldn't possibly achieve that. If that fails, boy, I'm never going to be able to show my face again. What? Kick that demon to the curb right now. That's the first hurdle though. Don't get stuck there. Because once you accept it, you are also accepting that there is a possibility of failure. Embrace it though. And then take a step into actually making it happen. Alright, I really do want to be a ballerina. So I'm going to go to ballet classes. And I'm going to watch ballet recitals. And I'm going to go and I'm going to immerse myself in the culture. And then I'm going to start practicing at home. And then maybe I'm going to do some videos about it. Maybe I'm going to make a YouTube channel about it. And then 3, 4, 5 steps later, little steps, exploring it, you find that actually, you know what? Ballet isn't for me. But I know a lot about the culture now. I know a lot about the industry now. And all of a sudden, I'm buying and selling ballet garments. And I'm doing reviews of recitals on YouTube. And I got 1,000 subscribers. And maybe that's good enough for me now. Because I've had a taste. I've tested what ballet's all about. And I've discovered that, you know what? While dancing isn't for me, being a critic is for me. These are the ways that you have to pursue your passions, your dreams, test them. I am not a person that's big on planning. I have a vision and an end goal that I want to see. And then as I grow each day, I try and do things that inform me about the thing that it is I want to see or do. Take this podcast for instance. I had the idea to do a podcast ages ago. Didn't have a clue what it was going to be about though. So I didn't do anything. But I did try other things. I tried the YouTube channel, the unpopular opinions. And you know, it was actually doing okay. Growing slow. But in doing it, I realized that this isn't for me. I don't really want to be on screen all the time, videoing. And I don't really want to talk about unpopular opinions either. It's all a bit gossipy. It's all a bit chatty for me. I like a good talk. I like a good debate. I love a deep conversation. But I'm not really a chatty person, chat. So people find it hard to talk to me sometimes because I'm not really chatty like that. That's when I realized podcasting, actually, it might really be the way forward for me. Because I ain't got to be on screen. I ain't got to worry about what I'm looking like. And I prefer just talking. And I'm somebody, I love audiobooks. I've even made a few audiobooks and audio stories of my own. And one thing I always like is audiobooks and talks, discussions, podcasts that have a black screen. So I can have them on YouTube when I'm watching them and I don't have to see the light from my phone. Because normally I have to turn my phone screen all the way down on brightness, then flip it over. So that's why I make the Hero's Journey podcast with a black screen. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to do that, man. I'm going to make what it is that I like to hear and what I like to see. And I'm going to test it. It may not work. People may not like it. And in truth, I'm not even doing this for people to really like it. I want people to support it. I want people to like it. But even if they don't, I'm still going to keep doing it. Because actually, I enjoy it. And if it helps people on the way, then you know what, man, that's good. That's good. But I'm going to test it. And you know what, I might get 10 episodes in and decide, you know what, that podcast thing worked for me, man. But I tested it. I tried it. Let's move on. So going back to, what are they? Dan and, what are their names? Dan and Chip. Chip and Dan. Chip and Dan Heath. Something we need to do is learn to manage our emotions in situations. You know, you find that a lot of the time when change comes, the change defines how we change. So something will happen, a breakup will happen, and the emotions of that breakup change you. That change defines you. All of a sudden you're more closed to particular types of people. Maybe your character changes so that you're less open, for instance. Maybe you get turned off of a particular type of person. Maybe a particular race of people. And then that becomes your character. Oh no, I don't date white guys. No, I don't date black girls because black girls are whatever. Oh, white guys are whatever. And now that a change has changed you, what we need to do, I mean, who am I to sit here prescribing to you what you need to do? But I do think what would benefit you would be to control the change that occurs in you to better determine the outcome of your character. Not letting the changes that happen to you change you. So you know what, maybe that black girl was too rowdy for you. That's not the case for me, but maybe for some people that is. Maybe that Indian guy was just, I don't know, man. I don't really know what Indian guys are. I don't know what the stereotypes for Indian guys is. I don't know. Maybe he was too much of an IT nerd for you. Maybe he wasn't road enough. That doesn't mean that you have to be put off Indian guys. It seems so basic. I'm even regretting saying it now. Because a lot of our changes are deeper than these kind of superficial things. So please understand that I use them just to highlight and make what I'm saying accessible by using stereotypes. But instead of thinking whatever you're going to think because of these changes that had to occur, just think, right, okay, I've got some understanding now. I've got some experience now. And you know what? When I make moves next time, I'm going to watch out for this. And I'm going to watch out for that. I do think relationships is a good example. Because sometimes people get damaged. And they continue to move through life judging everybody by the damage that somebody else inflicted on them. And now, as soon as they see a glimpse of a past behavior, they write the person off. Or worse yet, they just shut people off straight away. They don't let anybody in. What you should do is use that experience to Notice things that you were oblivious to before. 100%, man. If you see red flags, be like, aha, I seen this behavior before. I know what could potentially be coming. But the person may not even be aware. At that point, you have the power to say, yo, I've noticed such and such a thing. Did you realize? No, I didn't realize, Man, is that what I'm like? Is that what I do? That's not who I want to be. Because not everybody is so close to development and growth as the last person you dated. Some people are actively growing, actively developing, and just waiting for someone like you who've had the experience to say, oh, I know a better way. I actually understand this. And all of a sudden, you are a person that has not missed out on opportunity or rejected somebody based on something, but you've actually helped someone else to grow. But don't be the person that is just fixing people. You don't want to be a fixer. You want a person that's whole, but nobody's perfect, right? But the point is controlling the emotional change, controlling the trajectory, the direction of how these external changes and transitions form you and shape you, and using them to propel you to where you need to be. Sometimes you need to call on old ways of doing things. And I don't mean going back to old habits or ways of doing things that were negative and you've left behind. That's not what I mean. What I mean is sometimes you're going to find yourself in a situation where maybe you're not coping too well. Or maybe that relationship that you just left has left you feeling a bit, don't know how to get back in the saddle. Or maybe that job that you just lost has left you feeling a bit, man, I'm never going to get another job. I've been applying to jobs. I'm getting no responses, no interviews, not even an email to say I was unsuccessful. My self-confidence is down right now. My P's running low right now. This is when you need to remember old ways of doing things when you were winning. Old wins. Have you ever noticed that gamblers, pilots, racing drivers often have lucky charms, like a little rabbit's foot, a lucky dice, whatever it is? There's no real luck in those items. They have no powers. But they represent a time when that person was winning. So what they're doing, they're harnessing the feeling, the energy of a past win to bring it into the current situation. What you need to do, not find a lucky charm. That's not what I'm saying. What you need to do is harness the energy of those old wins and think, actually, when I got my last job, that job that I really wanted, I was drinking a lot of water, I was drinking like 3-4 liters a day. My mind was clear. My skin was clear. I felt good, man. I wasn't even working out too tough. I was just drinking a lot of water. I was going toilet a lot, but I felt good, man. Let me do that again. Because that being fully hydrated can increase your strength by up to like 19 or 20%. I'm sure I read that somewhere. Imagine increasing your strength by 20% just by being fully hydrated. No workout, no nothing. Just drinking enough water to be fully hydrated can increase your strength by about 20%. Don't quote me on them figures. Let me go back to drinking 3 liters of water a day. And that's employing old things you were doing when you were winning. Do you know what? I was actually reading a book a day when I met my partner, my ex-partner. And we had so much to talk about with each other, because I'd been banging out all these books, he'd been banging out all these books, and we just connected. I'm going to start reading a book a day again. And then you find you get back into the books you were reading, and you know what? You still don't meet no one. But it doesn't mean you stop. It means that you continue to do things that work for you, and you build yourself up to be a person that gets into the habit of doing things that you know work for you when you're winning. Because then what happens is you're in a pattern of doing things that your winning self done. And we've all had wins. No matter how much losses we've all had wins. But you have to really look back and say, yo, this is what I was doing when I was winning. This is what was working for me. And that's going to help you more than any self-help book, than any podcast, than any YouTube video that tries to teach you new skills and new techniques. I'm not saying don't learn new skills and new techniques, of course. But when you're starting from the bottom, finding that drive again, finding that passion again, finding that rhythm again, starting out, go back to those old wins. Find those lucky charms and bring them into your present so that you can get that momentum back. Because those old things that you were doing are already tried and tested. They already work. When you try and take on these new skills and learn these new things, you gotta try them, you gotta test them, see if they work for you, because obviously they're blanket things that these gurus and self-help people are throwing out. They're blanket things. Even this thing that I'm telling you now is a new thing you gotta try, test and implement. The good thing about what I'm telling you is I'm telling you to go and try out the old stuff that you knew worked for you already. So this has got a higher chance of working. And they already work for you, like I said. So they'll fit in and implement nice and easy. Now go and start learning a new thing. Now go and start reading some new books. Now go and start doing some different courses. And building yourself up again. Comes back to that vision I was talking about that you need to have. And it doesn't have to be planned out every single step. Like I said, I'm not one big on planning every single step. I just have an overarching vision that I'm working towards. And day by day, I try and test things that I think might bring me closer. The podcast may not make me a millionaire. But something I do on this journey, something I read on this journey, someone I meet on this journey may change the course of my life. And I've tested it. And I know it don't work. For making me a millionaire. So I can move on and try the next thing. Now be careful with the amount of things you're trying at once. Because sometimes there can be too many options. And you don't do anything because you don't know what to try. Decision paralysis. Too many options, man. Too many different things to try, ways to go, ideas. Just pick one. And I'm not the best person to be giving that advice, because at any given time I'm reading like 3-4 books, not making massive progress in any of them, just dipping in and out of a couple of books. I've got like 3 projects on the go. I'm always making different sounds and beats for myself as an artist. I'm trying to do these podcasts. I run a sound company. I'm studying to be a teacher. I am teaching during the day. Doing a whole load of stuff. Each one is quite refined though. So the little time that I put into all of them is focus time. But I've taken a long time to get to the point here where I've got 3-4 things that are focused, refined, and that I can have a few fingers in at once. I can be reading a couple of books at once because they're all feeding into different parts. They're not just, okay, 1 or 2 of them are random books, names and derivatives of flowers and Genesis. Genesis? Is that the word? Can't remember. When you're starting out, just pick one thing. Yeah, I'm gonna focus on that dentistry course. And then just pursue it, man, day by day. Chip away at it. Yeah, I am gonna start selling on Amazon. Chip away at it. Find out what you need. Find out how. Find out how much. Find out who. All the little bits that you need to chip away. Make one decision. I've heard people say in these like entrepreneurial guides and whatnot that a lot of the richest people say just make one important decision a day. For a lot of us, there's so many important decisions we have to make on a daily basis that a mantra like that just seems ridiculous. But when it comes down to the really important decisions about yourself, like, who am I trying to be? Obviously, you should be yourself. But what are you trying to be in that self? What is that? Just make one a day. Oh, yeah. I am actually trying to be X. I don't know what it is for you. Only you know what it is. And you don't have to take that as gospel. Just an example. Just a bit of a regurgitation of something I've heard on my journeys. Or whatever you do, just don't get stuck not making a choice because you don't know what to choose. Just pick one thing. It might be the wrong thing. As soon as you realize it's the wrong thing, drop it. Pick the other thing again. Pick the next thing. Don't forget to trust in your decisions. I remember I bought a stock about a year ago in a company called Neo, which is a Chinese car manufacturer. And when I bought it, the stock was about $2 a share. And I bought 100 shares. So I spent about £200. And in the next 3-4 months or so, the stock plummeted to about $1. And I lost £100. And at the time, the company, they weren't sure if they were going to close down. Their funding wasn't like coming through. The Chinese electric vehicle market was down. The government was funding the Chinese electric vehicle market, like giving people like a subsidy for trading in their old car for an electric one, blah blah blah, a whole load of stuff that just wasn't working. And I thought, man, I lost £100. Let me sell these shares before the company goes completely bust and I lose my money. So I sold the shares. I bought that share because I saw something in that company that I liked. And I thought, yeah, man, this has potential. But things got a bit rocky a few months in, and I started to doubt myself, man. Oh man, I've wasted £200. I could have bought, I don't know what with that money. Wasted £100. For what? Nothing. And I doubted my vision. Sold the shares. Today, NEO, that same company, is worth $44 a share. Don't sound like much, $44 a share, especially when Amazon is like, I think it's like $3,000 a share, Amazon. Shall I have a quick look? Amazon is $3,100 roughly a share. So $44 isn't a share, isn't a huge amount. But I bought 100 shares at $2. Now, if I had those shares today, they would be worth £4,400, roughly about $4,000. Consider if I'd have bought them at zero, let's just forget about my $2. If I'd have bought them at zero today, they'd be worth $4,400. So if I'd have held on, I would have made a significant amount of money. I learned a lesson there. Trust my instincts. Trust my judgment. Even when it's rocky. When you see potential in something, when you see potential in yourself, when you see potential in an idea that you have and you believe that it has the potential to do well, trust it. Go for it. I went for it with that company. £200 I had, banged it in. Halfway through, got scared, pulled out. Lost out. A lot of us do that with our dreams. We feel something inside, and we know inside us. We're the only ones who can feel it. We're the only ones who can see it. I told other people about that company. You know, everybody thought, nah. Too risky. Uncertain. Didn't invest. I took the risk, lost money. In the short term. But I let my own doubt and the doubt of others as well who said, nah, creep in. Don't do that with your dreams. Jump in, get started. It's going to get a bit rough. It's going to get a bit rocky. It's going to go up and down. But you saw something in it. And maybe you're the only one who sees something in it. And when it's going down, there are going to be people that said, aha. Well, you just got to say, you know what? At the moment, it's a bit rough. It ain't doing too well at the moment. But just hold on. It will turn around. Now, if you're in something and it's clear that this thing is failing, you're in minus, it's all dead, then you do need to know when to cut and run and take your losses. Don't be ignorant, but don't lose faith when it gets bumpy. Now, luckily for me, I had a moment of clarity. And I bought back my shares in NEO, that Chinese vehicle manufacturer. I bought back when they were $7 a share. So a bit more than I originally paid. But I got 117 shares when they were $7. and now they're 44 and rising. Forecast to hit $250 a share in 5 years. So what am I going to do? I'm going to trust what I thought originally and wait. Because sometimes in life, all it takes is just a little bit of patience. Just sit on something for a while. Just sit on it. It may not be ready yet, but when it is ready, it'll be worth it. This is quite a long podcast, and I do hope you're enjoying it so far. There are a couple of little points that I want to touch on before I start to wrap up. On this journey of waiting, pursuing your vision, your dream, and that end goal, you need to have small victories, small wins. Because going for such a long time with no wins can be so disheartening. Can really get you down. Imagine you start your company today. You don't make $1 till next year. Some people, halfway through the year, nah, I'm out, I'm done. I'm spending money on this business. Every month, I'll keep my website up. I got to pay for postage and packaging. I'm still working my day job. Can't leave. Haven't even made $1 yet. Nah, this ain't worth it. This is no good. But you got to factor in some small wins, man. And you got to celebrate those wins too. What? This month, you know what? Actually, I didn't make profit, but I had one more customer than I did last month. Yes. The business is growing. Learn to see the small wins on your journey. You know what? I ain't been waking up on time. But you know what? Yesterday, I did wake up a couple minutes earlier. I'm improving. These are the little wins that we're overlooking. You know, progress is incremental. And I mean, it comes in increments, steps. Sometimes you make a big leap, a big bound. Those are called breakthroughs though. There's not many breakthroughs in life. Breakthroughs are things are defining moments. Not every moment of success is a defining moment. Sometimes they're just incremental successes. Don't overlook them because they're very important. It's all these small increments that lead up to the breakthrough, the accumulation of small wins. Very important. So set some small goals as well, some small, measurable, achievable, SMART goals. Look up SMART goals. I made a post about it on Insta. Check it out. It simply says SMART. Read the caption. Type in SMART goals. Set some SMART goals. Last thing I want to talk about, right? Last 2 points. Reconstructing your environment. It's all good having your mind, your body in the right place, being on it, being focused, having faith and believing in what you're going to do, who you're going to be, being on that path. But sometimes you're in a toxic environment. Sometimes it's that workplace. Backbiting, gossiping, hearsay, politics. You're trying to rise up to manager, deputy, CEO, owner, and everyone around you is, this company sucks, they don't pay this, they don't treat that, I don't like this one, I hate that one, and it just pollutes your environment, pollutes your energy. You might need to change that environment, man. You gave up the drink, you gave up the smoking, gave up all the Red Bulls. I don't know what it is that's got you hooked, but we've all got something. Gave it up. And your friends are like, yo, well done. Do you want a drink though? No, I don't drink. What? Not at all. No, I don't drink at all. What? Not even at Christmas? No, bruv. Not even at Christmas. Rah. Okay. Would you want to smoke though? Nah, I don't smoke, bruv. I don't bun. What? Not even on your birthday? No, bruv. Not even. Rah. That's mad, you know. Yeah. Next time you see them, what do you want to drink though? Nah, I don't. Why you still don't drink? Nah, I don't drink. No, don't want to smoke. Nah, I still don't smoke. You know what, bro? I rate that still. Next time you see them, what do you want to drink? Yo, how many times I'm gonna have to tell you, I don't drink, I don't smoke? Why are you still offering me? When Jesus was in the desert, Satan tempted him. When Jesus was talking to his disciple, he said, "Get behind me, Satan." Because his disciple tempted him with something. Some of these people are devils in your life. Whether you believe in biblical stories, don't make no difference. Define them how you want. Blockers, enemies of progress, devils, whatever you like. Choose your character. The reality of it is these environments that you find yourself in, you need to reconstruct them. You need to remove yourself from somewhere and remove yourself from some people, because these places and people, as much as you change, as much as you focus, these environments are not nurturing your growth. Some of them people in those environments are sucking the energy, the life, the joy, the positivity. Reality of it is, some people don't want to see you shine. Some people don't want to see you grow. Them people, you gotta tell them, yo, get behind me, Satan. Or whatever your choice of words is. Get into a new environment. Get some new friends. Have no friends for a while. Nothing wrong with that. And then when you get into that new environment, develop some new habits. Them old ways of winning, make them your new habits. And then let the habits become the things that build you. Make reading a chapter a day a habit. Next thing you know, you're not even thinking about reading a chapter a day. It's just something you do. Just like brushing teeth. I wake up, I brush teeth. I wake up, I brush teeth. I don't wake up and think, oh, I want my breath to be fresh. I mean, I do, because it bangs in the morning. But I don't wake up and think, oh yeah, I want minty fresh breath today. I feel like having a fresh mouth today. I don't think that. I just wake up and think, oh, I don't want breath to bang. I don't think that. I just wake up and do it. Wake up, brush teeth. Wake up, shower. Get out. Cream skin. Auto. Oh, and I read a bit on the bus. And I listen to music on the bus. And I read a bit on my lunch break. These just become habits now. And now I'm making these podcasts a habit. Get home from work, maybe eat something real quick, cup of tea, biscuit. Do a little bit of reading. Jump on, record. 7 days now. Not in a row, unfortunately. 7 podcasts in. I figure I need about 20 to 60 podcasts before it really becomes ingrained. I'm sure it's all going to work towards it though. I might even burn out on the way. I hope I don't. It's definitely not easy though. Excuse me. I hope that hasn't ruined your listening experience. But you will get tired. And you will need rest. And you will need things to motivate you. And it will be up and down. And success will be slow. Unless it's fast. But generally it will be slow. Especially if you're creating something new and unique and something that's not popping. Something that's not hot right now. But that's cool, man. You're doing something. You're carving a way. You're carving a path. Just remember that. Seems cliche, but you do need to remember it. Alright. I'm quite tired. This has been the Hero's Journey podcast, episode 7. Longest podcast yet. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please comment, subscribe, like, share. If you can, become a member on Patreon. patreon.com/THJP. And I'll see you in the next podcast. Peace.